What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the GoodeBaker Podcast. I'm Nick Baker. Across from me, Shane Good.
Hey, guys.
And we're here to talk to you about some video games. What have you been playing, man?
Well, I'm playing PoE. A lot of PoE, man.
All right. How's that going?
It's good. I'm up to I think I'm up to 10 exalts now. I've got a tornado shot. Well, had a tornado shot that was completely juiced out except for a headhunter. Had a Riggs Quill. Had a Wind Ripper. Had my tornado shot. 21, 23. I know this means absolutely nothing to you.
Man, I'm just catching wind right now.
Yeah, the rate of drop of an exalt, which is a currency in the game, the best way to explain it is the average rate is about 14 hours per drop. So 14 hours worth of gameplay per drop, unless you're just extremely lucky. This league has just put so many NPCs in the game where it's accelerated the amount of drops that you get, and it's just juiced everything up.
So what you're saying is there's far more enemies than before?
Yes.
Okay.
Far more enemies in the map. Before you could fight 1,000 enemies in a map, now you can go as high as 1,000 enemies in the first 50 to a minute and a half of a map.
Wow.
So a stupid amount, and they're good enemies. They're juiced enemies that give very specific, very good rewards. The way to get drops in PoE is to roll as many times as you can. So don't roll for good quantity or good quality. Roll for as many shitty drops, because eventually the game will think that you need to be lucky.
Oh, yeah.
So it's kind of, you kill as many things as possible, and eventually the game thinks that you need to be lucky. So it's been pretty cool. We made a new build called the Captain America build, actually.
Captain America? Sweet.
Captain America. It's with a skill called Spectral Shield Throw, which is a newer skill. Well, it's not newer. It's from 0.3 patch. Or 3.0 patch. But it's, you literally just throw your shield as a skill, and it chains to other enemies. So what better way to kill 1,000 enemies than just throw your shield once at it?
Yeah, man, Super Mario Galaxy style, just spin that shit. All those guys go to... Oh, man, that's awesome. I'm glad you're still having fun with PoE. It seems like that game has crazy legs. I think I've said that exact thing before, but we'll keep saying it as long as they keep throwing more content at you guys.
Oh man, that game will always throw more content. But what about you, man? What do you got cooking?
I finally did something that I've never done. I've platinumed a game.
Nice.
I got a platinum trophy. Spider-Man. I dove back in for the DLC, which is great, by the way. The middle episode, there's 3. Mm-hmm. The middle episode kind of dipped in interest. I wasn't very interested in what was going on in that.
A little harder to pick back up.
The beginning and the end are really great, I thought. The beats that they come in and go out with are really, really fun boss battles and really interesting storylines. It's just like playing an extension of a Spider-Man comic. But the Platinum Trophy, I literally only had a few missions to take care of in a few different districts. I needed to thwart some crimes, and I needed to go pay respects to Uncle Ben's headstone.
Yep. And
that was the very last trophy that I got, and then it popped, and up at the top, the Platinum Trophy is called Be Greater. And you're like, oh, I have that screenshot of Uncle Ben's tombstone with Be Greater Platinum Trophy in the corner.
Damn, that's legendary.
It's perfect.
Dude, that's a Reddit post right there.
Man, I gotta get that up on our Instagram, maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that being done, I really don't know what I'm going to tackle next. I have a few more things to finish off in the DLC. I finished the story, but I've 100%ed both the beginning DLC chapters.
Yep.
I just have about 70% on the last one, so I'm almost completely done with Spider-Man now. What a game, man. From beginning to end, I just loved every bit of it. The combat and the swinging around is just so much fun. People have talked it to death, obviously. One of the best PS4 exclusives.
For
I think
sure.
One of the best PS4 games in general. Man, I had a ton of fun with it. And I'm glad that it was my first platinum trophy.
That's awesome.
So anyway, to get to why we were here today, we last week went over everything that happened at E3 proper. Which, I mean, I say that, but this is definitely, PC Gaming Showcase is definitely a part of E3 proper, but I feel like the main show is kind of, like Bethesda and all that's really console-focused.
Yeah.
So this week I figured we could take a look. Both of us kind of got together, watched the PC Gaming show. We liked a lot of what we saw. We're just going to go over the highlights like we did last week for the E3 Showcase. Pretty much in chronological order. I think I might have put a few things out of place, but do you want to kick off the first one? They pretty much opened the show with this one.
Yeah, I mean, so Evil Genius 2 looks like a civilization on steroids, kind of. You amass a force in your newly built secret lair. Attempt to take over the world is kind of like the whole point of the game. So, I played a little bit of Evil Genius 1. I didn't play a ton of it. But watching the trailer for the Evil Genius 2, that's not gameplay per se, really. So
Right. The trailer was pretty much just like a conceptual thing. I think that if we dug a little deeper, maybe there's some gameplay online we could check out. But just from like the first glance at the game, it seems like I wrote down civilization-y, almost has sort of like StarCraft-y aspects with like you go into these almost nodes, which are the different countries and different parts of the world, and you try to either overthrow or befriend government status figures, and it seems similar in that way to Civ, and I think it looks really interesting. It was the first highlight for a reason. The art style is really fun.
Their art styles are always really cool.
It looks like a play on the Despicable Me art style, and fitting because the main character in that's an evil genius. So we'll have to see more definitely on that one. Quick, did you ever play the first one?
Like, very, very little. My experience with the first one was when it like first came out, which was ages ago, and then I didn't really pick it back up. Honestly, when I played games like this, my friends influenced me to play like European Universalist instead, which is just a far more in-depth game. So I don't really have a ton of experience with this particular game, but it doesn't mean that I'm not interested and that it doesn't look very intriguing. I'm obviously, with the way that technology moves, you can do so much more with so much less in terms of like skill trees and advancements and like how the game progresses, and there's so many more examples that kind of help people figure out what is in right now and what really is good for a game. So I'm excited to see where they take from what, like where they take from that Civilization branch and where they take from that StarCraft branch. You know, I'm excited to see what they do with it.
They seem like they're really kind of almost concentrating all that down. Like you said, it seemed like a little bit more of a simplified version of your Europia game and
European Universalist.
European Universalist. So it will be interesting to see. I didn't see whether or not it's coming to consoles or not, but I definitely going to have to take a look at the PC version.
For sure.
I'm going to be saying that a lot. So, the next one, this is I feel like the only one that was out of place. I kind of skimmed through the first viewing of the PC Gamer Show, so I missed a few of the ones that I have here on the highlight reel, if you will. But this one's the Griftlands. It's a deck-building RPG roguelike game with super interesting, like, comic booky, sketchy art style.
Yeah.
Almost looked like Samurai Jack, almost. Looks really awesome. The card-based battle system, it's all turn-based, JRPG style, maybe Darkest Dungeon style.
Good game.
Yeah, also a roguelike. So it seems like it very much in that vein, and really, really cool looking at. If it only comes to PC. These are the types of games that are making me consider like having you help me get like a PC rig going, because
it's cheap.
Yeah,
for what it is nowadays, yeah. It really is.
So these games are really interesting to me, and I'm glad we took a look at the PC gaming showcase this year, because every other year I've just kind of passed it over, and all these games kind of just fly under my radar. So pretty excited to see more from Griftlands and all these other games we have on this list. What did you think from the trailer that you saw?
So I think from Griftlands specifically, what I'm most interested in seeing is if you remember in the trailer, he went through the door and he interacted with different people every time he failed what he wanted to do.
Right.
And I'm really interested to see is all of those different paths a new way to play the game, or are all those different paths impossible to do and you have to find the correct one? Because if there's just that many, like, you enter a room and you can do this or that or this, and all of those are possibilities and all of them work, it just depends on how you have built your deck, whether you've built it for socialization, whether you've built it for battling, whether you've built, So I'm really interested to see is the deck building, is the building piece how you build your deck, and are you creating your character's personality with how you're building your deck?
It seems that that's kind of a main trigger point in this little gameplay snippet trailer, that they're showing you not only in combat with specific battle cards and whatnot, but also in conversation with people. So it does seem like there are ways to get through those types of interactions with different, maybe higher level cards, because they seem to have pretty low level cards here where it's like +1, -1, or whatever.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me is that they took a formula that is typically meant for like a card battle game, is
like Magic.
Yeah, it's basically all you do is battle, but in this you're translating that into Fallout style conversation, what am I looking for?
Well, I mean, like, your cards are interactive.
Right,
for the conversation, so like
it gives
almost
you different
persuasion,
branching paths of conversation that you can take depending on the cards that you have in your deck, is what I'm kind of gathering.
I take that too.
Really interesting concept. I thought it was very much different than a lot of the other games that they showed, so I put it on the highlight list, and really interested to see more from Griftlands.
This and Oasis are probably my two out there enough where I'm really looking forward. I might not play it, but I'm really looking forward to see what they do, just because it's such a new vein.
Right. So, next on our list, from the makers of Stardew Valley.
This one?
Yeah, Chucklefish.
These dudes are great.
Stardew Valley, great game.
Oh,
this is their follow-up. It seems not only more ambitious, but I think more in the line of games that I'm interested in. Like, I like the farmy simmy games well enough for a little while. Really, the ones that draw me in are the ones that you can kind of dive into for a few minutes and get your stuff done and go play something else, like something you can just check in on periodically. And Stardew Valley always seemed like way more in depth than I wanted to get into. Shay loved it.
It's more of a 500-hour game.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know about you, but I don't have too much time for 500-hour games anymore.
I play PoE, so.
Well, I mean, maybe one.
I crossed 500 hours yesterday on PoE. 507 hours.
And man, God bless you. You're killing it. You're killing it out there. But so Starmancer is their next game, and it's a completely different feel. It's an isometric style game. Yeah. So it has a little bit of a different perspective than Stardew Valley, whereas Stardew Valley was like a almost top-down isometric style 8-bit game. This is more of a, I think, what do we got? A 16-bit? No, it's not quite 16-bit.
It's not quite 16-bit.
I think it's just a nicely up-resed 8-bit, and but the game takes place on a space station You can customize all kinds of different parts of the space station from the looks of it. You can go throughout and you can seemingly create or spawn more crew members to increase your actual force on the space station, and that must change different resource management systems and whatnot. But it seems really as in-depth as Stardew Valley, but in a different way, whereas there's seemingly combat where you can fight space pirates, or you can trade with other space travelers and whatnot to gain trading goods, or you can gain allies perhaps. So it's really interesting to me. I think this is going to be a game that I check out for sure, because it'll be coming to consoles as well. Hopefully it comes to the Switch, because I'd really like a game like this on the go.
Yeah, it seems like it would be a really cool game to have on the Switch. And I mean, it in general, it definitely strikes me in a way where I've played a lot of games kind of like this. It reminds me a lot of Oxygen Not Included, which is a PC exclusive game. It reminds me a lot of a couple games, but Oxygen Not Included, and then Starbound, which the best way to explain both of those games is this is like a happy cross of Oxygen Not Included is a micromanagement game to the T. Oxygen Not Included is a literal thing. You're in space, you have to have oxygen as a resource. So it's every single little thing you have to micromanage and just keep track of every person and make sure they're doing exactly what they need to.
Yeah.
And then Starbound is a game where it's kind of like Terraria in space. So you start out on the ground, but you can build a spaceship and you can go from planet to planet.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so it almost seems like a happy medium of this
yeah.
You can create your spaceship and go from planet to planet, but you need to manage a couple of things to keep your people happy, it seems like. And I mean, I noticed there's gosh darn it, the plants, and there's a area for everybody. I wonder if there'll be happiness levels and
right.
How Simsy they'll be.
It seems like there is a lot of Simmy-like stuff in this, which makes a lot of sense coming from Stardew Valley. They had the relationship meters where you had to become friends with certain people in order to build certain parts of your town. What I'm shocked to see is their departure from the really heartwarming story of Stardew Valley, where there's a little bit of tragedy here and there, but you're pretty much going out on your own, and you're creating loving relationships with friends and potentially a wife or husband in the game, and this seems to be taking a darker turn where the trailer shows there's death and
that dude that's we should be friends, and you go there and he's like, I'm gonna kill you.
I'm gonna kill him. That's what's great about a follow-up game from a studio like Chucklefish, is that now they're really starting to get their legs under them with a game like Stardew Valley. All that money pushes forward the vision for the next game, and usually what we see coming from an iterative sequel-ish, I wouldn't say sequel, but their next title is usually bonkers. They go crazy with all kinds of different gameplay options, and hopefully they bring some really cool combat to this. They didn't really show much of any kind of combat, but they did announce that there's beta access.
Yeah, actually, I was just looking into that.
Yeah, so maybe that's something that you should look into, because obviously having a MacBook doesn't exactly scream PC playing.
Yeah.
So, with Starmancer out of the way, that's probably one of the bigger highlights for me. I really like
this game definitely
how that game
looked
looks.
cool.
But this next one is probably my top pick for the show. It's Midnight Ghost Hunt, and it's a 4v4 multiplayer hide-and-seek game where one side plays ghost hunters and the other side plays the ghosts. And as the ghosts, you can hide in different furniture pieces or just random objects around the house and fling them at your ghost hunter enemies, trying to escape as long as you can. I believe that the first round lasts 4 minutes, and then once that 4 minutes elapses, any ghosts that were killed before that time, if any of your friends survived as ghosts, at midnight, at the stroke of midnight, those ghosts come back as vengeful ghosts, and then the tables turn, and you start hunting the hunters. And just looks super intense. The developers gave a little bit of insight afterwards, and it seems like it's going to be a really, really fun romp. It looks like something that we should look into maybe playing for some content in the future.
It looks fun as fuck.
Oh man! So what does this remind you of anything that you have seen on PC? Like what?
So this is literally prop hunt. So like, this is prop hunt on steroids. I don't know. Do you know what prop hunt is?
It's the Call of Duty mode, right?
No. So prop hunt originated from Gary's mod. Gary's mod is essentially it's what came off of Half-Life, the Half-Life series.
See, this is why we have you, man.
I love PC games, but it came off of that, and originally in Prop Hunt, same idea. Call of Duty basically just got the rights to be able to do it. They created their own Prop Hunt, same exact idea. So it's Prop Hunt, except in the Gary's mod version, you can possess items once you're dead, and you can like flop items around and like just be an absolute fucking irritants to like the hunters that are looking for other props.
And these are the types of multiplayer games that I'm sorely missing. Like they're really creative, like
one-offs, dude.
Yeah,
like,
and the one game that I think I mentioned in one of the previous episodes, but Friday the 13th really got me back into that really unique style of multiplayer gameplay, and it was so much fun. I played it for a good 3 weeks at almost every other night straight, and I was like, I had
super
so
solid.
much fun. And this reminds me of a similar feel, not exactly getting chased around by Jason, but at the same time you still have that kind of almost 80s nostalgia vibe of like Ghostbusters.
Yeah, very Ghostbusters.
That really draws my attention to something like this, and the gameplay looks hella fun, and it looks great too. The graphics are incredible. So
for sure, I don't even catch who makes this particular game.
This one. See, now I said before the podcast that Rebellion did a bunch of these games that we have on the highlight list, but I don't know if they did this one.
Either way, these guys did a really good job.
The name of the game is really what matters right here, because you can take a look at the gameplay and be sold 100%, just like I was.
Midnight Ghost Hunt, in case we didn't actually say the game.
Oh no, we definitely Midnight Ghost Hunt. Check it out, because I think it's going to be one of the must-play multiplayer games. Specifically in my vein of interest.
Definitely a unique one to check out. This next one is, I feel like it's unique, but at the same time, it's a vein that we're just seeing done very consistently right now. Unexplained 2.
Unexplored.
Unexplored, sorry, I misread it.
Yeah, no word.
Unexplored 2, you have almost a Zelda-like action adventure game with gorgeous Matt.
Yeah, Matt. It's a
that's that
palette art style. It's like really just like a clean, almost like just like a painterly art style. It just seems like very hand painted, hand drawn.
But it looked really interesting, and where a lot of people seem like they're coming out with these Zelda-esque or like that vein of game. I think that the creative people are really going to have to come out and just give us something that we haven't seen really before. And it's going to be really difficult and challenging in the vein where so many people have already tried and like so many things are explored. I mean, what do you think of this?
The Unexplored 2, I put it on here because it kind of broke out of like my thought of the isometric 2D Zelda-like. It was it's a little bit more than 2D. I think it's got some shading that makes it look like pseudo 3D, and the combat is really interesting. It seems really challenging because it's a roguelike as well. So the combat is intentionally challenging in a way that you want to learn different enemies' attack patterns, and maybe it has a lot to do with the class that you play, because it seems like there's multiple classes. Interesting anyway. It was just kind of a smaller one that I wanted to mention, just because it, like I said, it did kind of break the mold of what I thought the Zelda-like roguelike has been in the past. But
I mean, what do you feel really broke the mold on this one? Like
the art style was the first thing that grabbed me. Other than that, the class-based system was something that was also intriguing, just because I don't see that done particularly specifically. You know, there's certain games like Dead Cells where you use different weapons, but you're essentially the same class as you go through, and the weapons are just different each time. But what I saw from this is you have specific weapons tied to specific classes that you go through, and you test your mettle with each class, and each person, I'm sure, would have a better class that they play according to their play style.
Yo.
So in that way, I think it's really interesting. Other than that, like you said, it's Zelda likes are a dime a dozen. You can really get as many as you want. You look on Steam, I'm sure you look up anything like this and you'll find hundreds of results, thousands maybe. And yeah, I just wanted to highlight it because it seemed really different in the aspects of creativity, like the atmosphere of the game, the look of the game really grabbed me, and that's different than some other ones. Some other ones are just passable. There was another one that we said looked like Castle Crashers.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember the name of it.
Exactly, and that's
exactly it.
Yeah, that's the type of thing that I'm talking about. It's like there are these games that are like a dime a dozen, but this one seems like it's a little bit more high quality, and it seems... Yeah, welcome back. Sorry about that. Our computer shit the bed on us, but we're back. We were talking about Unexplored 2. Yep. Yeah, that'll be our first commercial break, I think.
Yeah, I consider that commercial break. I mean, I guess let's just dive back into what we already were saying. We talked for like a minute or two, possibly.
Before we actually noticed that anything had gone wrong. But anyway, this stuff happens. We're gonna keep rolling with it. Just to finish off our thoughts on Unexplored 2. That minute was pretty much us describing that it kind of breaks the mold with its difficulty a little bit. What is this now? So
that's the game that it resembles.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we were talking about how it resembles what was
Realm of the Mad Gods.
Realm of the Mad Gods. So
it literally essentially the same idea. 5 classes, you kind of switch between them. It's a roguelike. This seems like it's single player and story based. Realm of the Mad Gods seems very close. But it's multiplayer online RPG based. So it's kind of it reminds me almost exactly of the same game, but this has a much prettier art style.
Yeah.
So
let's just move on.
Yeah. To something that looked really interesting.
This grabbed you.
Yeah.
The Conan series has always kind of interested me in the other iterations, like the first-person iterations that I've seen.
Yeah.
This is very different. Go ahead.
So, Conan Unconquered. This grabbed me because it looked like I don't know. It looked different than your average cookie cutter, whatever you have it.
RTS.
Like RTS.
Yeah.
Like it just grabbed me because it looked different. It's like almost like a wave, fighting waves to the point where you can build up enough force to fight back. So like there was that in the trailer, there was, you go to wave 25 and then the trailer kind of cut out from gameplay, and like you had like this massive like dude who broke out of your walls, and like you started fighting back the waves. So like it grabbed me simply because it is almost like a tower defense game, but a tower defense RTS. And that just seems really interesting to me. I've played a lot of tower defense games over the years.
Yeah,
so
the melding of those two genres seems like a match made in heaven too.
It really does.
Those styles seem to fit together like puzzle pieces. So, like you, I'm excited to see more because I always loved playing Command and Conquer back in the day.
Super good game.
That was one of my favorite RTSs. I haven't really played too many since then. I played a lot of Civilization, but that's a very different style. But that's like the extent of my PC gaming lately. But the Command and Conquer games really grabbed me, so this one reminded me a lot of that, and interesting to see more.
For sure. On to a much different game.
Man Eater, dude, this one looks so funny.
Oh my gosh, this lady in the shark suit.
Oh, she comes back. Yeah, the showcase. One of the hosts, forget her name, but man, she was like this bubbly. What would you say? English?
Yeah.
Because she had an accent,
so.
and man, she was like hilarious when she came out in this shark suit. Started interviewing this super awkward developer. Oh man,
this guy, man.
The cringy jokes. What was one of them? And he's like, "We're still hammerheading away."
Yeah, we're still hammerheading away, and then like towards the end, and the girl's like, "Well, I've got to go. I've got to go get a snack." You know, all these people in the front row look delicious.
Oh my god, all of it was so cringy. Stop. But the game itself, a Sharpg or Shark PG.
Sharpg.
Oh man, they have some buzzwords for this one, but you play a budding young shark that he described it as GTA if you were a shark. Which, come on, that pitch is great in general. I'm obviously super excited about this one.
This dude did his homework. He wrote up.
He sold this one. The gameplay that they showed looked super fun. It looks like you're getting different bonuses for doing different like aerial bite tricks. You know, it's got bits and pieces of all kinds of different games that I really love. Almost the tricks almost looked Tony Hawk-esque, where you're like getting multipliers maybe, and the numbers shoot up just like a regular RPG. So there's like progression systems that allow you to get all these different upgrades and power-ups. He said that you can get like a metal fin and steel jaws that allow you to strip through boats and stuff.
Yeah, and there's like 3 different ways to level up, which is pretty pretty interesting.
You can evolve, which means, I guess, escalating to the next echelon of sharkdom, like whatever that may be, you know, growing bigger or maybe even changing species. I wonder if you can choose different species to evolve into.
I'm not sure. That'd be pretty cool.
There's obviously your age, which affects your size and speed and ability to eat larger objects, I assume. I forget what the third one was.
So it was, you have an experience bar that levels you as your age, kinda. Mm-hmm. You have the middle one, which allows you to become like it's the power spike and jump between like being a adolescent shark, a teenage shark, an adult shark. You know, the third one, which allows you to kind of do some crazy shit and mutate your body. The 3 examples was like the shark teeth that allows you to eat through boats. Was it like the mutated lungs that allows you to, as he put it, stay on the beach for those afternoon snacks a little longer.
Yes. Oh man, this conference, man, I'm gonna watch it again and again and again. The cringe is just off the charts.
Just this particular.
Yeah, I know.
Guy,
and man, going into it, we previewed the PC gaming show, and I said this one was one of the ones that I was most interested in.
Yeah.
It's now proven itself to me. I'm totally sold on this game. I gotta get my hands on it eventually.
I can't remember if there was a release date. He said the release date was before the next PC showcase.
Right, so within the next
a
year or so.
Yeah, within a year.
The last one I have on here for our highlights is El Hijo. I assume that's how that's said. It's an isometric stealth game where you play a street kid with a slingshot.
Seems pretty interesting.
It's really, it reminds me a lot of the like Pocket Deus Ex game where it's like a strategy panel game, but you're controlling your character the whole time, so it's stealth and you have to distract different. Well, I guess you could kind of say it's along the lines of the same kind of stealth as like Metal Gear Solid, where you throw things to distract people and move throughout and try not to get detected. Detection seems like it's the fail state in this game. Where this game really is shoulders above some of the other ones that we've seen is the story looks really engaging. It seems like something's happened to your mother. You're taken in by this, as Shay described it, Spanish monk.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a blend of all kinds of different flavors in here, and the story looks emotional. The gameplay looks fun. The art style is interesting and I wouldn't say intuitive. I'd say like Saturday morning cartoon like. So it really grabbed my interest as one of the highlights. What did you think of this? Because I'm not sure if you've played many stealth action games.
So it not specifically. The game itself reminded me a lot of Mark of the Ninja, which is essentially it's a game that it plays very similar, but it plays from the exact opposite angle. So it's 2D, but instead of top down, it's like Super Mario Slider. Mm-hmm. So it plays from the opposite angle, but the mechanics themselves kind of remind me of it in the sense where like you have in Mark of the Shadow you have like places to hide that are dark, and when you go into the light people can see you. Oh, okay. So you swing through the level as a ninja, and this reminds me very much of this like, you're at first it seems like you're trying to escape the monks, and you're able to like kind of escape the Spanish monks, and then you find the slingshot when you get out, and then you kind of like I'm not sure like those were cowboys or what exactly they were, but then you kind of go to like being able to use a lot more mechanics. So I'm curious to know, how quick do you get the slingshot? And how many mechanics will you really need to learn to kind of find the game enjoyable?
It seemed like the sequence that we saw of gameplay was like the very beginning of the game, where I think the slingshot is going to be a main mechanic in the game, so you're probably going to want to get that early on. But yeah, the concept of it all seems really, really cool. It seems like a old Western mixed with like I said, a cartoon style and fun gameplay.
Yeah, it looked really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was a little interesting one to throw on there, just to fill out our highlight list. A few other ones I wanted to mention real quick before we finish up were a few of the ones that I didn't want to include in the highlight list just because I think one of them didn't offer much in the way of new information in Baldur's Gate. Yep. And the other one was one that I'm sort of interested in, but I think I need to see more of in Bloodlines 2.
Yep.
Bloodlines 2, you're a vampire in a city, and seems very RPG-like. You go around, and there's a story to it. the cool thing about it is, from what I saw of the gameplay, you can look through people, see all their veins and their heart, and maybe that has. They said that there's different blood types that you can ingest that do different things to your character, whether it be buffs or debuffs. It seems really interesting.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate, though, I played the original with my friend Anthony.
Old game, brother.
Definitely. Old game is old, for sure. And, but hopefully this new iteration brings with it, they said it's going to be based on the 5th edition of Dungeons & Dragons.
Yep.
They brought a lot of the mechanics from that, scrapping a few of the things that didn't quite fit. But that was pretty much all the information they offered on that. So they said that they are going to have that out when it's ready. So it doesn't seem like it's very close.
They also, one thing that interested me, they said that they have a board game edition coming out with it. So like a sequel.
Wouldn't that just be D&D?
That's what Shay said. So it's like it's D&D, but you have like a specific main campaign that you're going for. It's kind of it's more of a campaign that's already produced that you are following in the campaign, and you can create your own outcomes to the story. He explained it as like being able to send, what did he say? He was like being able to send Boulder Gate to like checking back in with the cities and kind of checking in with where you went and being able to condemn people to hell and going to hell in the game, which I don't really know what that means really, but
right. It seems like they're trying to create a very muddled beginning to end. They want you to be in your character throughout, so you're gonna start with humble beginnings. My interesting thing that I thought might have been cool is if they were able to somehow integrate Baldur's Gate 2 characters into Baldur's Gate 3, but I don't know how the intricacies of that would work. Probably not too great, but it seems like they're trying to draw all right, this is going to be a grand adventure. You're going to start from peddling or doing something in a small town to eventually fighting demons in hell. That's what it really screamed to me. And we'll obviously see more as it leaks out. I think this is going to be one of the most popular PC games.
Oh,
ever.
trust me.
Just like the old ones.
Baldur's Gate 2, that was 2013, so we're what's that, 7 years or something like that? Nope, 7 years would be 2020. Yeah. We are 6 years out.
Right.
So it definitely will be interesting.
Yeah. So that was the PC Gaming Showcase highlights. Tell us what you thought in the comments section. If you liked any of these games, if you've seen any of them, or if you liked some of the ones that we didn't mention, just leave a comment below. Like us, subscribe, please. And we'll catch you in the next one for sure. Till then, peace.
Peace.